Alright, y'all, EpiPen 3K here. We got Nate over here. He's about to show you the dark worlds that is actually some Gomez has together to we get his injectors build and stuff. But
Yep.
here's just
this is the build that Tyler and I spent a while working on. A lot of the builds out there are pretty bad. not to be mean, but I spent a lot of time doing some research on YouTube, and I think there's some pretty bad builds. So I mean, it's no way perfect, but it's getting there.
Yep.
Okay. Alright, so first we got the basic. In every Dark World deck, you got 3 Graph, 3 Snow, 3 Brow, always Bro cards.
Definitely.
Of course. Next we got 2 Silva. I only run 2 Silva, no gold. We've tried all the different variations. It's really good when it goes off, but so many Dark World decks are just so inconsistent. And that's why it seems like one tops every YCS, maybe, but I think with this deck you really need to go for consistency. So 2 Silva, when it works, it's sick. When you don't draw it, that's fine too. And the last monster is 3 Trance Archfiend. Adds so much consistency to the deck. Card's ridiculously good. Once you get it going with your gates and lure and all that, the card's extremely good. It's just an extra card to discard with. And other than that, I think that's really all you need for the monsters. Any more is unnecessary. Moving on to the spells. You got the 3 gates, of course, always. 3 dealings. Some people aren't running 3, they're running 1 or 2. Dealings, I think, is still needed for consistency. You just gotta play it right, We also run 3 drag down. So the idea is, you play your dealings first. Because dealings has a drawback of letting your opponent draw a lot of cards. So you play your dealings and then you play your drag downs, just to make sure that their hand's not going to be too broke at the end of your turn. But you really need Dark World dealings. Decide them out during the mirror match. It's all good. 3 MST. 3 just seems like the right number in this deck. Get rid of the back row. Pretty self-explanatory.
Yep.
2 duality. This is something that Tiny Mech had right, and people just don't listen to him. You don't always special summon in this deck, duality helps more than you know. I really don't know what else to say about duality. Just give it a shot. If you're making this deck, try it. Don't be opposed to a card just because you think it won't work. The card is amazing in this deck. Then we got Allure. I'm running the 3 Archfiend. Allure does have its drawbacks sometimes in some builds, but with the Trance Archfiend, it's really always a plus. Then Card Destruction, of course. Then we got Heavy Storm. I'll explain this a little. A lot of people don't run Heavy Storm because you're running the gates, but you still need Heavy Storm. The deck still makes huge pushes, and Heavy Storm is still a broken card whether you run gates or not. Dark Hole, again, still a broken card. I see no reason why not to run it in this deck, if you got a Graph on the field and you need a Dark Hole, that's fine. You can just get Graph it back. Really no reason not to run it. And then Monster Reborn, another card that some people aren't running. They're not running those 3 staples. Monster Reborn is one of the best cards in the deck. Monster Reborn is a straight +1.
That's a Reviver Monstro.
Yes, that one is a Reviver Monstro.
I get it.
But no, it's a straight +1, Reborn as Snow or something like that, bounce back to your hand to special Grapha, pluses. Moving on to the traps. Trap lineup is extremely simple. We decided to keep the trap lineup minimal to maximize consistency and just keep it to the cards that are pluses, really. Because that's what this deck's about. Tor, insane pluses in this deck with Trance Archfiend. That's all that shit. Grapha, don't really need to explain it. 2 Deck Dev. Card's really good against the big 3. Some people, I don't know. This card is so good against those 3 decks. There are decks that it's bad against, but it's so game changing. This card can win you the game. And to be honest, even if it doesn't hit a lot of cards, even if it hits 0 to 1 cards, you're still getting the information, and that's huge. Next, we got 2 Skill Drain. This is really what makes the deck, in my eyes, playable, is its ability to run Skill Drain so well. Even with the Trance Archfiend, it's really not an issue. And everyone knows this. Skill Drain is amazing this format. It's really good pretty much every format, but I think it's bigger now than it's ever been. And really what this is just a fast Skill Drain deck.
That's the 16-year-old kid who won the last YCS.
That's true. And then the 1 Starlight Road. It's always live. You got the gates, which when you're playing Drag Down, you don't want to have to worry about, setting your hand. And that would be the 40th card. As far as extra deck goes, I'm not that planned ahead. But, really, the only thing you need...
Was there a trade binder? Anybody wants to buy?
You need Tyrus, and you need Zenmayo. Those cards are so good.
The other one you might want to get is the level 5 Ninja XC too. That one some people run. It's optional as well. I know
he's okay. Tyrus is just straight better.
Yeah.
Tyrus practically does the same thing, but just better.
The only thing Ninja has is it can't be destroyed by battle as well. That one's card effect, but that Tyrus has the ability to pop, which is amazing. And
both these cards are extremely good. Even with only running 2 Silva, they still do come out, and when they do, they're extremely good. So you're going to want to pick those up no matter what build you're running. As long as you're running Silva and or Gold. And that would be the deck profile. A couple things real fast. You'll notice that there's a couple things. There's no Morphing Jar. In my opinion, Morphing Jar in Darkworlds at the moment is bad. The card itself is good, but against a good player, as soon as you set a monster, they see Morphing Jar, right? So they set their hand, they do all the stuff they need to play around it, and you're really not going to get the pluses off the Morphing Jar that you should, unless you draw it in your opening hand, and without gates. So to me, it's not worth it, especially with Skill Drain. Another card would be Fabled Raven. The card is pretty good, but I feel that, in all honesty, Trance Archfiend is just better. Alright, let's say you're top decking. Trance Archfiend is going to be amazing really late game when you have stuff removed. But the Fabled Raven, obviously not so good. Those are just some choices that we made. Tour Guide's pretty good in the deck, I'm not going to lie. But to be honest, they're a bit too pricey for a Darkworld deck, in our opinion. So I think that this is close to about as good as you can get without Tour Guide. And obviously with that, the build will be different.
Alright. Thanks, Nate.
No problem.
Remember, just subscribe and comment, if you want. That'd be nice.
All that basic YouTube stuff.